Welcome to another anti-retro video. Today's topic is the Nintendo Switch, a hybrid portable home console hit that's dominated the market for the past 3 years and piqued gamers' curiosity for even longer. Let's get started. On the heels of the failed Wii U, the Nintendo Switch was released worldwide on March 3rd, 2017, at a price of $299 US, 29,980 yen, 279 British pounds, and 329 euros. It simultaneously replaces both Nintendo Wii U and the Nintendo 2DS 3DS. This is because it is a hybrid console, meaning it could be played on the go, similar to other portable consoles, but could also be docked, similar to a laptop, and displayed on a television or other HDMI enabled display. When docked, it benefits from a performance increase due to having a constant source of power. It can also switch between docked and handheld mode without the need to shut down the console or put it to sleep, again, similar to a laptop. This allows you to start a game in one mode and effortlessly change to another. When docked, it can also be played in tabletop mode via the built-in and clumsy stand. There is a more durable stand available if you need something more stable. It's hard to not draw comparisons with the Wii U. While the Wii U had a tablet controller allowing for remote play, you were still basically tethered to your home, and even then you had to stay within about 30 feet of the Wii U console. The Switch, on the other hand, is truly mobile, allowing you to take it anywhere. While nothing was officially confirmed, it's pretty obvious that the Wii U was somewhat of a prototype or public beta of what was probably Nintendo's ultimate vision. It started off under the codename NX, and rumor mills went wild with ideas and speculation. Everything from what it was, its design, release date, and of course, specs. Rumors that it would utilize an AMD APU similar to the Xbox One and PS4 were rampant, but proved untrue. Rumors that it would be an AMD based ARM CPU utilizing AMD graphics also proved untrue. Instead, Nintendo went with NVIDIA and its Tegra X1 system on a chip, or SoC. So, besides the ability to dock and undock, another unique feature has to do with its controllers, known as JoyCons, short for joystick controllers, mainly because they can operate in one of four or five ways depending on how you look at it. Such ways are attached to the console as a handheld, as two individual controllers for two-player mode or one-player mode. Basically, you would hold it sideways similar to an SNES controller, waved around like a Wiimote, attached to Joy-Con grip, which came by default with the console, which basically allows you to slide those two Joy-Cons into this grip, turning it into a more traditional controller. And suppose that the fifth way would be to hold each Joy-Con in each hand. Kind of like a Wiimote, but not really. You would still operate it in more of a traditional controller. It's just separated. Joy-Cons also came in a wide variety of colors and could be mixed and matched. The console itself is black and gray. On September 20th, 2019, Nintendo released a second Switch called the Switch Lite. This was a handheld-only console which integrated the Joy-Cons into its design. While it could not be docked for TV play, it could utilize most Switch accessories and controllers. It also boasted increased battery life despite it having a smaller battery. This was due to it using a revised Tegra X1 SoC. Around this time, Nintendo also released a revised version of the standard Switch with the same new revised system on a chip. This new SoC ran more efficiently, requiring less cooling and power. As such, even with the same size battery as the original, it could run longer than the OG Switch. The Switch Lite, as of the airing of this video, comes in four colors: gray, yellow, turquoise, and coral, which is kind of like a pinkish color. Special editions of the console have also been released. For the standard Switch, customizations are mainly Joy-Con controllers and maybe even docks with custom art printed on them. For the Switch Lite, as of this video, there is one custom edition, mainly representing the Pokemon Sword and Shield games, and it's called Zacian and Zamazenta. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce Pokemon names. I'm not into Pokemon. But this edition has custom artwork printed on the back of the Switch itself and comes in a light gray color with light blue and coral colored buttons. It's actually a really good looking edition, and I wish they had a matching set of Joy-Cons for the standard Switch. Third parties have released custom shells though, so it's possible someone already has one out there. I'll have to take a look and see. While the Switch is selling like hotcakes, it's not without its controversy. Critics panned the use of the X1 as it's not much more powerful than the Xbox 360 or PS3. However, that hasn't stopped AAA titles from appearing on the console, including Doom, Mortal Kombat 11, and even The Witcher 3. While these games are a little bit stripped down in terms of visuals, they are very popular titles and still an impressive feat, all things considered. The Switch is, after all, effectively a mobile device akin to a tablet, and with technology from a few years ago at that. Some additional controversy, though this time not by Nintendo necessarily, gripped early adopters who were looking for a more portable mobile dock. Many third parties created more compact docks that allowed for video output and charging so that people could take their Switch to their friend's house and still be able to plug it into a television without having to drag their entire setup with them. However, it was soon after these devices were released that people noticed that their Switches would either no longer charge or display video or both. Some of these docking stations, Nyko, for example, didn't count on Nintendo to use a non standard USB C spec. While most docks didn't really cause an issue, it was basically rolling the dice. The Nyko dock was notorious for frying switches. It's a shame that Nintendo isn't releasing a more portable video out dock itself, although they do have a portable charging dock that's available. I did pick up one of these Nyko docks, but I never actually used it, so I guess I got lucky. And one more controversy that surfaced with the Switch has to do with a vulnerability that was found in the NVIDIA Tegra X1 SoC that allowed hackers to gain root access, allowing them to mod switches to enable homebrew, overclock the SoC, and other useful and controversial things. This is why they released a revised version of the X1, because it didn't just affect the Nintendo Switch, it affected anything that used the X1, including Tesla vehicles. Hacking a Switch is one thing, but if someone were to hack your vehicle, that's pretty dangerous, So as previously mentioned, the Switch uses an NVIDIA Tegra X1 SoC, whose CPU is clocked at just over 1 GHz in both dock and handheld mode, while the GPU is clocked in at 768 MHz while docked, and between about 300 MHz and 460 MHz in mobile, depending on which profile developers use. It also has 4 GB of LPDDR4 RAM, 32 GB of internal flash storage, a 6-inch capacitive touchscreen for the regular Switch, and a 5.5-inch capacitive touchscreen for the Switch Lite. Of course, it's also got a cartridge slot, an SD card slot that can handle cards up to 2 TB in size, and it also has 802.11 AC wireless capabilities. You can also connect it to an Ethernet connection using the Ethernet adapter from the Wii and the Wii U, along with a select number of compatible third-party devices. Other connectivity included Bluetooth 4.1 for communications with the controllers. Wire controllers can also be connected via USB, either using a USB-A to USB-C adapter if you're going to plug them directly into the Switch, or via one of the 3 USB-A ports on the dock, one of which is a USB 3.0 port and the other 2 are USB 2.0 ports. The Switch's battery capacity is 4,310 milliamps at 3.7 volts, giving it anywhere from about 2.5 to 6 hours for the original release, and anywhere from 4.5 to 9 hours for the revised model. The Switch Lite's battery can hold a charge from 3 to 7 hours. The JoyCons also contain batteries with capacities of 525 milliamps at 3.7 volts and can be recharged either by connecting them to the Switch or by using a special charging grip that's sold separately. The Switch Pro controller, which is more of a traditional controller, can also charge via its USB-C port, either by plugging in directly to the Switch dock, or almost any type of USB charger. Its battery capacity is 1300 milliamps at 3.7 volts and can last for up to 40 hours. The Joy-Cons each contain motion controls as well as rumble capabilities Nintendo dubs HD Rumble, giving it a more realistic motion feedback. The right Joy-Con also includes an IR camera built into it. The Pro controller also has motion controls and HD Rumble, but no IR camera. Both the 6-inch and 5.5-inch screens, as previously mentioned, are capacitive touch and have a max resolution of 720p. They're driven by the NVIDIA Maxwell-based CUDA GPU containing 256 cores. While it's technically capable of reaching 4K resolutions at 60 Hz, Switch games played at a max resolution of 1080p at 60 Hz, though many games run at a lower resolution and or frame rate, and can even run with dynamic resolutions. This basically allows a game to maintain performance while reducing image quality. Some games do, however, give you the option of selecting performance versus visuals. So let's take a look at the Switch, shall we? I initially purchased it to play Breath of the Wild. Yes, I know it was available on the Wii U, but since that was on its way out, I figured I'd move on to the Switch. I almost never take it out of the dock, to be honest, as I mainly play it at home. I've probably used it in handheld mode 10 to 15 times since I got it on day one, but most of those times were just to show it off. I maybe played in handheld mode like 5 times. You may be able to guess that I'm in the I hope Nintendo releases a TV-only version of the Switch camp. As with rumors once again circulating that yet another revision of Switch is on its way, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I have about 13 physical games and maybe another 5 or 6 digital ones, but I'll be honest, I mainly play a lot of Breath of the Wild. I've beaten it a few times, and I don't know, I just get lost in the world there. It's a really relaxing game for the most part, and when I'm bored or stressed or whatever, I find myself playing it. Now, it's not to say I haven't played other games, although I really have only beaten one other game to completion, and that's Link's Awakening. But I have played a bit of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Sonic Mania, Super Mario Maker 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and a few others. And I've also played a couple of indie titles here and there. But for the most part, I mainly just play Breath of the Wild. I will eventually get to the other games, I promise. I just don't know when exactly. Though I do also have a backlog catalog of games for other systems that I have yet to play, so we'll see. But I do enjoy the Switch. I can definitely see the appeal of its dual functionality even if I don't use it. And the game library that it's built up in just 3 short years is nothing short of impressive. It's garnered a lot of support from indie developers, though a lot of big names have also released many of their blockbusters, such as the aforementioned Mortal Kombat 11, Doom, and The Witcher 3. But other hits, such as Wolfenstein, Sonic Mania, and The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, have also come out on the console. Many popular indie titles include Shovel Knight and Cadence of Hyrule. The latter was important because it was one of the rare occasions where Nintendo licensed out one of its IPs, and in this case it was to an indie developer no less. Nintendo also licensed out its Mario IP to Ubisoft with the game Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Both of these games were successful, so we may expect to see future collaborations. At least we're all hoping, I'm sure, right? I mean, hell, even Microsoft published a few titles, including Minecraft, though no surprise there since it's on just about anything with a screen. But Cuphead and Ori and the Blind Forest were unexpected. Now, Microsoft claims that no more games are being planned, but the word planned is subjective, like how Nintendo had no plans for a Switch Lite. Yeah, I'm not buying it. So that's the Switch. What games do you enjoy playing? Despite me having a backlog, are there any games I should pick up and allow to skip to the front of the line? And like I said earlier, I'm really hoping for either a dock-only Switch that maybe allows for higher CPU and GPU clock speeds, or even a full-on Switch Pro. But I'll probably have to wait at least a couple more years for the next generation of systems to come out. But for now, it's the OG Switch for me. So if you liked today's video, please tap or click on the thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. If you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down, but please leave a comment below as to why, so I can use that to make improvements for future videos. Thanks all, and I'll catch you later.